this week, what I want to talk a little bit about is types of content, why brands use certain types of content, and what you might be able to learn off the back of that. So let's get cracking, guys, because there's loads to get through. There we go. So as I say, we're talking about what type of content that we should be using on social media for different types of businesses in 2023. We're looking at Flying Tiger, which is a kind of crafty kind of business, if you like, and we're looking at how they use how-to guides and top tips and how that might actually work for you. We're looking at Primark and how they use flat lays, but they also use reels to promote products. So we're looking at different ways that the same business promote products through their kind of different content strategies. We're also looking at Wong's Jewelers as well, and how we're looking at user-generated content. So what is user-generated content? Why do they use it? And how can, again, any business sort of learn from that? And then we're going to give you guys some winning content ideas for the next couple of weeks based on our brand new tool, which is our content calendar for the year, which has all the amazing campaigns, everything from the recent one, which was Kiss a Ginger Day, right through to National Dog Day and everything in between. So one of the things that we talk a lot about is all about prioritizing your channels, I guess, by learning from your competitors. So one of the key things that we have built into the Maybe platform is the content calendar. So here, this is Wong. So we're going to talk a little bit about them later. So what you can see here is that, so if you wanted to look at your own calendar, this is what you would see. It would be all of the scheduled in content that you would see for the rest of the week, or your previous week's content. But you can also see quite literally any other business. All you need to do is add them into the platform and you can compare. So here you can see that, you know, the pink here, they clearly use a lot of Instagram, and they also use a bit of Twitter, and they also use a bit of Facebook. And whilst they do some of the same kind of content and things like that, you can see that there are some differences in how they actually display them, whether that's through video, or whether it might be through an image or just a little caption on Twitter. So they do actually use multiple types of content throughout, but one of the great ways is that, I guess, you know, it's about learning from your competitors and what they're doing and then improving on it. So we can kind of help you dive in. You can add as many people as you want, or any large brands that you want to see their entire posting schedule. So you'll see it all like this and you just kind of scroll through, as well as scheduling in your old content. So it's worth noting that you can also remix this people content. So I can literally click on, say that it was, I don't know, this diamond here, which looks beautiful. I could click on there and then actually repost it myself if I wanted to as well. So remember, why are we talking about all this? So 79.1% of consumers in the UK spend over an hour a day on social media, and only 19% of businesses are active social media. So think about that fact. Think about it. That is an open market for you. If you want to capture more of your content, if you want to capture more of your customer base, then make sure that you're more active on social media, because that's where everyone is. And remember, that's exactly what we do. We help connect you. So we help over 25,000 businesses get more out of social media. And we focus on basically ways of comparing your own social media, as I discussed with any other business. And we've got loads of amazing tools and insights so that you can use social media more effectively. And I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. And you've got access to loads of expert resources and training, which I spend hours and hours and hours a week producing for you guys. So everything from, you know, how to create an Instagram reel, right through to Google business profiles, and then everything in between. So there's loads of great content on there that is just accessible as soon as you go into the platform. So just make sure that you use it, because that's what our job is to help you guys get even stronger at social, to help sell more, to help connect more with your customers, and ultimately, you know, run your businesses more effectively. So we're going to get started by talking about Flying Tiger. So when you are thinking about, I guess, the right type of content to go into your feeds, what I want you to kind of think about is, who are you aiming the content at first of all? So is it, I don't know, the dad market, the mum market? Is it kids? Is it teenagers? Is it grandparents? Is it, you know, I don't know, someone with a particular ailment? Is it what problem do you want to solve for people? Because that will help you before you even think about the content. It's thinking about, well, who are you wanting to target? What problem do you want to solve? And then how can you solve it and help connect with people through that content that you actually create? So that's the kind of first port of call for any of these businesses when they're thinking about which kind of content to put on and which channels to use, which obviously we spoke about channels last week. And if you want, you can go back and rewatch it. So what I want to do is kind of pull out some examples so that you can choose the right kind of content and then think about whatever the call to action is. So what do you want people to actually do? So yes, I've read your post. What do you want me to do off the back of it? So we're going to talk a little bit about that just now. So we've got Flying Tiger here. Just take a little minute to load it up. Here we go. It's just taking a little second. There we go. So this is Flying Tiger. We are going straight to their Instagram. So what Flying Tiger, they're a huge stationery brand if you don't know them already, but they also sell loads of gifts, loads of kind of tongue-in-cheek, kind of quirky, fun, crafty things for kids and adults alike. And one of the things that got the masses of engagement recently, and I'm going to stop this so that you hear what I'm saying before you actually have a look at it. One of the things that got the masses of engagement was actually getting crafty and showing how-to videos. Now, we've talked about this before, but I want to go into it in a little bit of detail about why it's so important. Now, if you are a craft-based business, you might be, I don't know, you might sell wool for knitting, it might be art, it might be something to do with making things for kids, or it might be, you might be a personal trainer, or you might be a shopping center with lots of different types of businesses that you need to cater for. So it's thinking about how you can connect a certain product with a customer, and sometimes the best way of doing that is actually to show either what you can do with the product, aka here's 3 ways that you can wear this coat, or something like this. So let's take a look at it. Now, can you see how detailed that was? So I don't know whether you noticed, everything was color coordinated. So look at all the green, even the green on this lady's jumper, assuming it's the lady's jumper, everything, it was just a plain white background. So you really kind of opened up and you can really see, I guess, what it is that the person's doing. It is all cleanly laid out. It's very much in a step-by-step kind of system. So that is how to do a really, really good how-to video. And to be frank, you can do that on a budget, that you can literally get a little ring light. You can attach your phone to them these days. You can get them on, you know, Amazon or from any other retailer for, you know, a couple of pounds. And it's just about holding it so that then you can show, you know, that you, whether it's, I don't know, you could be a restaurant making a pizza, or it could be a jewelry maker or something like that. But it's all about the fact that you are showing how to do something with your product. So let's have a look at what they actually put here. So steal a tremendous idea that's Advent Sunday, turn a candle into a spruce tree, visit our inspirational universe to see how, and then it gives you a link. Now, remember on Instagram, you can't actually link, so they would have to copy and paste it. So you could also just say link in the bio, for example, but that's why it's good to do a reel or do a video on it, because then they can actually see how to do it without having to actually go, but it is a good way to get them from there to your website. So thinking about a call to action, they want people to purchase this. So they want people to purchase maybe candles from them. They want people to kind of look at, you know, so there you've got like the candle holders, you've got the red berries. So they've said, you know, like, so the red berries here are only £2. They've said the actual candle holder themselves are only £8. So it might be that you buy your own candle and then you just use theirs. But the idea is that if you're going to make the spruce tree, you need the candle holder, and the whole thing ties well because it's color coordinated. It's very Christmassy and it all kind of works. So that's the kind of theme, I guess, behind it. And then it's thinking about, you know, like who is it that they're trying to target here? So it's craft based, it's people who are crafty, it is parents who are trying to find something for their kids to do, it is people that maybe just, you know, enjoy making things, it's people that, you know, are particularly interested in Advent Sunday. Again, that might be part of a more religious side of things, but ultimately, let's face it, they want to sell their candle holder and they want to sell their red berries, and an interesting way of doing that is by being creative with a reel. So I think for me, it's thinking about who their target audience was. We've just discussed that. You know, families, parents, people who are a bit crafty. Then it is thinking about what it is that they're actually promoting. So they're not promoting candle necessarily, but what they are promoting is the products that go with the candle. And they're showing actually these are all the fun things that you can do as part of it. Then they're talking about the fact that they've got this, you know, inspirational universe. So you can actually go to their blogs if you like, and you can learn lots of different things on how to, you know, I don't know how to make certain things, which obviously always leads back to their product. So we know who it is they're targeting, what it is they're promoting, and also what it is they want me to do. They want me to go on to their website and buy a candle holder. That's ultimately what they want me to do. I understand that straight away. And also I'm inspired to maybe go and do it myself. So I might not go and buy it, but the likelihood is I'm going to be more interested, or indeed I might tag in someone who is quite crafty. And as you can see, I mean, apart from, you know, you're always going to get the odd person that is, I don't know, had a bad delivery or something like that. But here you can see lots of people really enjoying it. Just wondering, why did you use cold water? These are fantastic. Lovely idea. And then even some people are saying things like, please don't cut towards your hands. So, you know, be careful when you're showing craft-based things, but, you know, the sentiment is there. So it's thinking about what they wanted to do, why they wanted to do it, and that's why they created the video in the first place. So when you're thinking about types of content, if you're going to do a video, make sure that you think about who it's targeted at so that you know what to feature, what you want people to do off the back of it, and I guess what you're selling, to make sure that all kind of goes back to your caption. Okay, so then looking at something else that they've done. So here we've got a completely different post. So, but it's ultimately doing the same thing, but in a kind of more subliminal kind of way, how I would say it. So this is, again, when you're thinking about content, it's thinking about the different types of content that we do. And I guess, you know, again, the whole point in this is me giving you a bit of inspiration, hopefully some ideas. So here, what they've done is, which type are you? And I mean, this is dead easy to do on Canva. Anybody could do this. And they've done, again, a flat lay. And a flat lay is literally having a coloured background or a plain background, if you like, and then having multiple products neatly placed around so that you can, and then taking a picture from above so that you can see, I guess, you know, what the products are. And then usually you would link it back in the, you know, in the caption. Okay, so here, which type are you? So what do we see here? Nice, neat, lovely desk. That is not mine, by the way. This is more mine. And on the right hand side, it is a bit of a messy desk, but think about it. These are all products that they sell. And these are all products that they sell. And what they're doing is they're basically going, buy our pens, buy our stationery box, buy our to-do list pad, buy our little, you know, rainbow stickers and magnets and pencil cases. So they are promoting it, but they're not actually physically saying, buy this stuff. What they're doing is they're trying to get you to tag in people, and without, they're not even asking people to tag, but that's what it's for. It's for engagement. So they want to get that post and they want to show as many of their products as possible. And they want to show it to a wide audience. The best way of connecting with a wide audience is doing something really generic. Like, you know, everyone knows someone with a really messy desk or a really messy bedroom, or people that are super, super tidy, things like that. So it's an easy win to get someone to tag someone in. So that is why they've done that. And again, anybody could do something similar to this. So think about it. If it was literally, I don't know, a coffee or tea. Are you a coffee person or a tea person in the morning? Are you a breakfast person or no breakfast? You know, it could be an empty plate and then, you know, a plate full of like a fry up, you know. There's different ways that any business could do something like this. And that's the point, is that they might be Flying Tiger, they might have a marketing brand and, you know, sorry, marketing manager and brand manager probably, and all these different people. But ultimately what they've done is something that any of us could do. And if you look at it, it just says moment of truth. Are you messy or organized? And don't lie. So they're kind of poking fun, and, you know, they're being very lighthearted with it. And then recommended retail price in our physical stores. All our paper products are made with well-managed forestry. So again, it's going back to the fact that they're pointing out that, yes, there's a lot of paper there, but they're saying that, you know, they're trying to be as ethical as possible with their paper products, so that if anybody does say anything, then they've got something there. people have written, you know, messy, trying to be organized, never ending story, both. People have tagged in their work friends. So, you know, our desks are side by side, messy for sure. I'm the world's messiest crafter. So what that has had the desired effect. People have commented on it, people have tagged in friends, and then naturally people are looking at the product as well. So it's not directly to purchase the product, but it's to raise awareness of the types of products they've got to an audience who have desks ultimately. You know, so again, it's going back to who are you targeting? What products are you sort of promoting? What problems are you solving, or how can you connect with people about that set product? And then it's showing all the various options, which is basically what they've done. And then in this way, it's thinking about then what the call to action is. Their call to action isn't to buy it necessarily, but, you know, it subliminally is. Their call to action is actually, you know, tell us, you know, are you messy, or, you know, which one do you identify with? And people love things like that. So just think about that when you're thinking about, you know, you're sort of like planning your future content, guys, for this year. Again, any questions on any of this stuff, please just pop it in the chat, or the Q&A, and I'll get back to you. So this is what their content calendar looks like. And this is obviously like when I took the screenshot of it. So this is quite interesting. So you'll see that they do focus an awful lot on Instagram. Now, again, this is going back a little bit if you didn't watch it last week, thinking about channels. So a brand like this will do well on Instagram more than any other channel. And the reason why is because they are a crafty, very physical product. So they can show it in 100 different ways, you know, about, you know, I don't know, it might be their pads, or it might be their birthday cards, or it might be something for a hen party or the New Year's party, as you can see in there. So they can show that in very visual ways, and that's what Instagram's all about. It is about visuals. It is about stopping people in their tracks. It is about showing how-to videos. It is about kind of creating content that people are going to sort of, as you scroll, they're going to suddenly go, oh, what's that? So that is what Instagram's about. So that's why, I guess, if you are a business that has a physical product, Instagram can be a really, really good one for you, because it's just, as you can see here, there's so many different ways that they're using Instagram, between videos, between, you know, between just static images. And then they're always pretty good at putting their content actually on the image as well, so that you kind of know before you even have to click on the caption, you know it just by scrolling, because no one spends ages looking at captions. So it's just, again, just a little tidbit for you guys there. Right, we're going to look at Primark. Now, we love Primark social media, and one of the reasons why we love Primark social media is because they don't sell online. Why wouldn't you want to learn from a business that absolutely smashed it during all the lockdowns, during COVID, on social media? And they were the one business that everybody wanted to come back onto the high street because they don't sell online. And they're the one business that actually didn't stop talking the whole time during the lockdown. So we do feature them a lot. But again, I wanted to show you the different types of content that they put out there, ultimately to kind of do the same thing, if you like. So this one, so as I say, they are a very much a kind of social media favorite with us, because they're just really, really good at social media, considering they're a brand that aren't technically digital. So Primark, with this, so the post very much invites people to comment and basically vote and comment on their favorite color trend with multiple image posts. Now, think back to the Flying Tiger one that we just talked about. Now, they had the two options: are you messy, are you tidy? And they kind of showed that visually without really actually properly asking people. They also didn't ask people to give opinion. And I wonder, would they have gotten many more comments if they'd actually just asked? If you want people to comment, right, you know, or tag a friend, tag in, you know, your messy friend. So what Primark have done is exactly that. They have asked people to comment. So thinking about the call to action. So what they're doing here with the image is they're actually showing, again, like a flat lay on a, you know, clean floor. These are all the lovely blue products that we've got as we went into, say, like, you know, the spring, summer. And then as you go through, you've got all the lilac, and you've got all the green, and then you've got all the pink. All different products, all different shades. And, you know, the idea is that you probably wouldn't wear all of them together. But, you know, if you like pink, you either, you know, you're either a pink person, blue person, green person, you know, that's the kind of principle behind it. But ultimately, let's face it, what they're doing is promoting their summer products. They're promoting their summer accessories. But in doing that, so it's thinking about, right, okay, this is the products, this is what they want to promote, okay? Then going back to what I said earlier on, so it's all about color blocking. So that's talking about a trend. So it's, something that's, very sort of fashion forward. Then it's, are you team blue, lilac, green, or pink? So they're asking people a question. They're saying, answer us, which one do you prefer? Then they're giving you the gold, which is prices from £2. And they've put it obviously in like euros and dollars and stuff, but prices from £2. So they're asking me, as somebody who, I obviously that, you would be following Primark anyway. But they're asking me, what color do I prefer? So again, they can use that for content later on. They're promoting their summer products to me. They're looking for people who are wanting to buy, who are females, who are looking to buy summer products, usually for going on holiday, that kind of thing. So it's thinking about, they're solving problems by giving you all the summer accessories in one kind of capsule picture. And look at the responses. Green, blue, so cute. Lilac, I'm in love with the sage green glasses. I'm team colorful. I love all of them, but this blue, love the blue. Pink. So people have gotten really, really, really behind it. Pink Barbie vibes. And this had 52,936 engagements. Wowza. So these are obviously all the only comments that you can see, but my point is that in comparison to Flying Tiger are a huge international brand, right? They're massive as well, but they can sell and these ones can sell. But think about it, one of them asked a question and the other one didn't. So if you want to create the engagement part, think about, as I said, what do you want to promote? Summer products, that's fine. Who do you want to promote it to? So it's anybody who's interested in, like fashion, color blocking, like looking for kind of seasonal trends. That's what they've done. They've also put down the prices. So I know that I have to go, and obviously everybody knows they have to go into a store in order to purchase anyway. And the likelihood is, you might get one, but you might not get another because of different stocks. So it kind of encourages you to go down. And then it's asking me to, just give my opinion. So they could have gone, I don't know, 20% of people love the green, let's feature more green, or why is blue the underdog, that kind of thing. So that could have given them even more content down the line. But it's a great way of showing off products in a kind of innovative way, but very, very simple. And as I've said, anyone could do this. I don't care whether you sell donuts or whether you are a hairdresser that, wants to look at balayage versus non-balayage, or, you might be a butcher looking at different types of meat. You might be showing all your vegan options, who knows? But the point is that you're asking people their opinion and people love giving it. So it's a really, really good thing to learn from good old Primark. And then let's look at this. So this might look the same, but it isn't. So here this is more recent ones. That was the other one was from last year. This one is recent. And this is them basically promoting all of their shoes. So this is them promoting their trainers, and it's in a reel. Might look complicated, might look like they have spent hours and hours and hours doing this. They really haven't. What they've done is they've taken a series of stills and moved the shoes. So quite literally, they've had different shoes, taken a picture, moved it, added in new ones, switched them up, and taken lots and lots of pictures, chucked them on Instagram, turned it into a little reel. Bob's your uncle, you've got a really cool little video, which looks like, that could be like a professional ad, and it's not. Looks good, doesn't it? So again, thinking about, right, okay, why did they do that? So we can't pick a favorite. Trainers from £14 each. #Primark, #trending now. So with this, they didn't ask people for their opinion. People are giving it, by the way, but in comparison, so the other one, 59,000 people engaged with that. With this one, don't get me wrong, it's still a huge number, 15,868. But to me, that's the difference. I've been asked to do something, so I'm more likely to do it. If I'm not asked to do it, I might still engage with it, but it's not as strong. So they're doing the same thing. They're promoting a bunch of products. They're promoting, their trainers just the same ways they were promoting their summer stuff, but they haven't asked me to pick a favorite. I might go, do you know what? I love the pink because of X, Y, and Z. Or they could have said something like, I don't know, tag in a friend who you think would absolutely love these high tops, something like that. So it's just something to note that if you are promoting products, yes, use a flat lay. Yes, have the camera above it or the phone. yes, take lots of stills and turn it into a reel, but just sometimes think about just giving people that extra little push, that extra bit of encouragement. But people have gotten involved. People have said things like, I'm aiming to get them all. I love them. Woohoo, they're so beautiful. I already know which I love. Loads of people are responding. I need them in red. You should make a pair in purple. So people have actually responded, but just not in the same waves. So it's just something to have a wee think about when you're thinking about your products and thinking about how you would promote them or your services. Then you can show them in all different ways. It could be rings that, you show them on like different fingers. It could be a coat that you show in 5 different women, doesn't matter. But there's lots of ways to do this, and people just get super engaged in it, guys. So when you're thinking about planning content, whether it's a reel, whether it's a flat lay, whether it's a how-to video, which obviously the kind of main things we've covered so far, whether it's, asking for opinions, if you are actually asking for opinion, actually ask for it. Okay, so we are moving on. So as you can see, this is their content calendar. So again, if you go onto the Maybe platform, you can check out their content calendar. You just add it into your content calendar section. And as you can see, they are very prolific on Instagram, so all the pink, and you can see it's a lot of flat lays. They do a lot of shop stuff. It is a lot of, like color blocking, that kind of thing. So, they do have a bit of a trend, a bit of a theme for how they lay out their content, but they do still use Facebook, and they just use it in slightly different ways. They keep their captions really short. They don't like spend loads of time like writing loads of long things. Everything for them is about the image, because it's about the product and it's about driving people down. Now this we're going to talk a little bit about something slightly different. So this is about user-generated content for the first bit. So we are going to go to Wong's Jewelers. So have you ever looked at the tagged section on your Instagram, or indeed on Facebook? Have you ever had a notification on your business Facebook that says, right, okay, I have I don't know, you've been tagged in a post or something like that, okay? So you've been tagged in a post. What is it? Is it a customer has said that they've had a great meal at your restaurant? Is it that someone just tagged in to say that they were in your shopping center or in your place, if you're a place manager? Has someone tagged to say, I don't know, I just got this amazing haircut in the salon? Whatever it is, always make sure that you use it. So I love this. So obviously, being a jewelers, as you can see, they do a lot. There's a lot of diamonds, right? So they specialize very much in engagement rings, diamonds, weddings, all that kind of thing. And as you can see, there's things like book your wedding appointment. Now, a lot of their content gets, it's a few bits of engagement, and, it's beautiful content. But what they need to do is start working on why it's good. So, like, right, okay, if this got 140 likes versus say 1, why? So let's think about that. So it is because it is about the story. It is about user-generated content. So this couple have obviously just gotten engaged. They're obviously very, very happy. And as you can see, this is their little engagement story. It said that they got to Iceland. And here you can see is, that is selfies, that is stuff that they would have just chucked on Instagram because, they wanted to show, woohoo, I'm engaged. So any couple or any woman who wants to get engaged to someone, or any man that wants to engage to someone, or anyone that wants to engage to anyone, they're obviously going to be excited. They're planning, they're thinking about, what kind of ring would they want? And everybody wants to have, their relationship celebrated. Everyone wants to feel good about their relationship. Everyone wants to, sing from the rooftops when they get engaged. So Wongs have very much built up that story around this in order to sell more of their engagement rings. That's what their job is. So they're looking for, thinking about who they're looking for. They're looking for people who want to get engaged. They're looking for women who are in long-term relationships, or men who are in long-term relationships. That's ultimately, or same-sex couples. They're looking for anybody basically who is in a relationship and thinking about popping the question maybe at some point, okay? So here you've got the whole story. So, her first words were yes, her second words were Wongs. Rachel and Alex got engaged in Iceland, and then it's gone into detail. So Rachel always wanted a Wongs ring, so she was over the moon when Alex came to us for her ring. Swipe to see the stunning photos of the couple and Rachel's new ring. Congratulations, we couldn't be happier. So there's so many things with this. So he's got her the ring, and then I assume they've gone into they've gone in to get it like resized and things like that. He has taken pictures of it. She's taken pictures of the ring. She's clearly said that she's always wanted this particular brand of ring, so that's naturally going to be more exciting. And they've told the story. So I imagine what's happened is they'll have tagged them into their holiday pictures, you know, in Iceland getting engaged. So what they've done is they've taken them, they've put, you know, like a little border around them to make them feel more like part of Wong's, I guess, you know, part of their story. And then they've told the story. They've also, look, they've tagged in Iceland. They've said, we're in Iceland. They're showing the Iceland pictures. They're showing the moment that it happened. I'm like, I feel like I know this couple. I feel like I'm connected to them because I get the story. And if I was in a relationship where I was thinking about that kind of thing, then would it make me want a Wong's ring a little bit more? Yeah, it probably would. Of course it would. And that's the point in this. So user-generated content is about storytelling. It is about sharing customers' genuine, real experiences. And there's nothing that will connect someone more to a brand than seeing someone else sing about it from the rooftops and, you know, talking about what an amazing experience they had. So that is, you know, I guess, you know, who they're targeting. The content is from them, so it couldn't be better. And then Wong's have used it and they've done all the things. So they've told the story, they've tagged in Iceland to show you, you know, to make you feel, you know, part of it. And then they've done amazing hashtags. So this is all about a really strong hashtag strategy. You know, so they're basically, you know, they've got Liverpool Jewelers, Wong's Liverpool. So they've got all their local hashtags, then they've got their general ones, which is obviously the diamond stuff, winter proposal, diamond ring. So honestly, they've ticked every single box with this post, which is why it's got the more engagement than all of their other ones. And when I went through their content, the stuff that does get them engagement, funnily enough, engagement is user-generated content. And that is because the type of business it is, the type of products that they sell, and that they have to connect with people. You know, that people are spending a lot of money on something like this. You know, they have to connect with them on a real human level. So honestly, there's so much that any of us could learn from this kind of thing. And it is all about, and in fact, there's Rachel there. And those were my words. I couldn't believe it was Wong's. Didn't think he'd been listening for 8 years. My absolute dream. Anyone would, you know, in a long-term relationship could connect with that. So yeah, well done, Wong's. And again, it is thinking about what kind of content you want to produce, why you want to produce it, and, you know, what I guess you want people to do off the back of it. You want people to go, I want Wong's. So here is our final post, slightly different, but ultimately trying to, I guess, kind of achieve the same thing. So this is like a reel, and this is to show, I guess, these are all the options. So, you know, you've just seen Rachel. She's gotten engaged. She's very, very happy. She absolutely adores her Wong's ring. But which one's my favorite? This is going back to Primark. This is kind of going back to Flying Tiger. Which one would I choose? Which one am I? Which one is a bit more of me? Now, any business can do this. So I just kind of want you guys to take this in, right? Super, super easy.
This one, this is my favorite. Wait. This one, that's it. No, hold on. This is my favorite. Now that I think about it, maybe this is my favorite. Hold on. This one, that's my favorite. Okay, let me tell you what. This one.
So that, if you can see here, that is from a reel. So that's from an audio. So again, if you've not tried reels yet, please go on and try them. There are there's thousands of pre-recorded audios that you can use to cover anything. So that is someone that's gone, this is my favorite, this is my favorite, this is my favorite. So quite literally, you could, if you put this into your reel, think about how you could do that in your own business, whether it was literally walking, and I'm going to use shopping centers as an example, walking around the shopping center going, this is my favorite store, this is my favorite store, and you just show all the different stores. It would take you 2 minutes. Well, maybe not, it depends how big the shopping center is, but you get my drift. Maybe it is hair, maybe it's cakes, maybe it's sandwiches, maybe it is your restaurant, maybe it is, I don't know, a type of service that you provide. Anyone could use something like that and do exactly this. And again, look at the likes in comparison to their other ones that basically are kind of telling the same thing, but they're just doing it because guess what? They're showing me all the different types. They're going, this is my favorite, you know, which makes you go, oh no, that's my favorite. Oh, and you might want to, you know, rewind back and go and look at another one. That's the kind of idea behind it. They're showing their range. And then they're asking people, which one is their favorite? the oval set, the oval diamond. I can't find it on your website. Where is it, please? Number 4 and 5. So again, guess what, guys? They've got engagement in comparison to the other one because they've asked the question, which one is your favorite? And then they've balanced that with the video. So again, it's an alternative way of doing a reel. It is using, content that's already there. It is showing all the different types and asking which one is people's favorites. So I now understand the range. I understand what they do. I understand how it would look on a finger. So how it would look on a hand versus, just seeing it in a box. So again, it's kind of like helping me sort of tell that story to myself about why that one might be the one that I would want. And they've asked me for my opinion, and people love giving opinions, so I'm going to give it. So that's only going to drive my engagement, and quite literally could create an engagement out of it. So, and then hashtags, all about the hashtags. It's so good. Liverpool Independent, shop local, 2022 bride to be 2022. It might be obviously now 2023, but you get my drift, surely. So the content that we've looked at here the entire day, the entire time that we've been doing this, has been about thinking about who's the customer, what do they want, what products do we need to promote to them, thinking about how we do that in a sort of meaningful way, and then also what do we want them to do. Do we want to create more engagement on our Instagram? Brilliant, let's ask for an opinion. Do we want people to actually go to our website and purchase? Brilliant, make sure that you put the link in, make sure that people know where to go and how much it is, and the detail. Is it that we want to drive new people to our following and start following us? Then that is about the hashtags. That is about making sure that we've got the right hashtags in, that covers where we are, what we do, and the types of things that people are going to be looking for. But yeah, I absolutely love their content. It's fab. So we did this last week, and I'm quite excited to be doing it again. And this is something we're going to do each week. So this is our new 2023 social media content inspiration calendar. So I've just given you guys a ton of ways to connect with your customers, loads of different things that you can learn from an independent right through to big, huge international brands. But one of the things that we've created is a social media content inspiration calendar. So what this is literally, in fact, I'll just show you, much easier. Here we go. So yeah, here we go. So what this is a document that we've created, and we've trawled all of the national days. Oh, where have we go? This isn't what I wanted. Where are we? Clearly my Zoom has been playing up. Right. Spreadsheet, there we go. This is what I wanted. Okay, so this is a big document that has all of the national days, all of the national campaigns, all of the big topics that any business can use to start planning, scheduling, and even boosting their content over the course of the year. Now, we always say to you every time we do these, we talk about, the national campaigns. It might be, I don't know, National Autism Week. It might be Earth Day. It might be celebrating your work colleague day. I mean, there's quite literally something for everybody. And what we've done is we have been awesome, and we pulled it all together in a little calendar. So what I wanted to do each week is to look at the month ahead, and to give you guys some examples of maybe how you might be able to use some of the ideas here. So we talked a little bit about Kiss a Ginger Day last week. We've talked a bit about Blue Monday, which was Monday there. So let's have a look and see what's kind of coming up over the next couple of weeks. So here we have, I mean, I'm Scottish. I'll talk about Burns Night, okay? If you are a business in Scotland, a lot of people are going to be talking about Burns Night. If you're not, and you've got anything to do with any kind of Scottish heritage, if it might even be something to do with Burns poems, it might be a poetry, you might be a bookshop, who knows? But again, Burns Night is something that's annually celebrated. And then what we've done is we've put in, this is the date, this is Burns Night, and then we've talked about what it is. So it's annually celebrated, it commemorates blah, 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 blah. So you could literally copy and paste that into your content if you wanted. We said which country it's celebrated in. We've put what the, I guess, what the types of awareness is. It's community awareness, education awareness, family awareness, historical awareness. So just to give you guys some ideas, we've put in a little wiki link to Robert Burns, just in case you don't know who he is and you want to celebrate it in some way. And then we've even given you the hashtag. Now, going from that to, where are we? National Puzzle Day. Why wouldn't we want to talk about National Puzzle Day? So that's in the States. It might be, or it might even be National Croissant Day. It might be, I don't know, where are we? National Bug Busting Day. There you go. That's an interesting one. All about head lice. Why wouldn't you want to look at that? So here you can see the Dinosaur Day. I actually spoke to a shopping centre about this the other day. It's National Draw a Dinosaur Day. Why wouldn't you want to? I don't know. You could literally put out some little worksheets in the shopping centre or in your cafe that was join the dots on a dinosaur. You could download that from Google, and then you just put it on your social media. You just do that and say, here's a downloadable, enjoy. So the point is that there's a national day for everything. And what we've done is we've tried to give you guys all of it so that you can pick and choose. So you've got here January right up until December again, where again you can start to go, do you know what, in 3 months time I want to I want to start talking about, I don't know, Volunteers Day. It might be obviously Christmas jumper day. We all know all of those. There's National Lager Day if you're a brewery or a bar or a restaurant. There's so many things that you could look at, and the idea is that this should help you plan your content. So if you're struggling to come up with some ideas, then all you need to do is check this and go, brilliant, okay, that's coming up, I will plan my content around it. So if you want that sent to you, literally just drop a note in the Q&A button and I will get that sent on to you. Also, what we'll do is we'll do a follow-up email from this webinar tomorrow. So look out for your Thursday email. And again, anybody who wants the link to that so that you can start thinking about your content, it's all free, and we'll just send it on to you. And so all the tools and support you need are here. So we've got all the social media tools. We now do scheduling. We now help you with your advertising. We help you with your reporting. We help you learn from competitors. Then we've got all of our training. So on a Monday, it's how to use Maybe. Tuesday, it's social media basics. So literally how to get started with social media if you're struggling. Wednesday, me. Thursday, we've got ads for beginners. So again, if you've never done a Facebook ad before, but you kind of feel like you want to learn from it, you just go on and it's a bit like this. We just chat you through different case studies and show you guys how to do things. And Friday is advanced. So maybe you've done them before and you want to learn how to be even better, how to get more sales and the types of ads, how to do better with it, then that's for you. And then remember, there's loads of on-demand training as well. We've literally got, we've got hundreds and hundreds of videos there, which, in little snippets that explain how to do certain things and give you guys case studies and some inspiration as well. Thank you. Yes. Okay. Yep. No problem. You can have this. Yeah, we've just started getting some people coming through asking for the social media content calendar. That's absolutely fine, my love. We will get that sent on to you. No problem. So key takeaways for today are, if you've got a product or service, then you can that you can do a how-to guide or a top tips guide with, then go for it. Honestly, just go for it because it is so simple. And I've literally done it with, my background was all shopping centres. I've done it where, I've gone around and done things like, I don't know how to tie a tie when it's been a male, it's been maybe a tailor's, or how to, I don't know, like pick the right school uniform length, in the lead up to school, the school uniforms, and looking at parents. It is, I don't know, it might be a hairdresser thinking about how to do a French plait in your kids' hair on, when they're starting school. There's loads of different ways that you can do it, but like little how-to guides and top tips are a really good way to give inspiration. It's taggable, and it is just good content. You can use flat lay images or reels to show off your products, but try new things and use the platform to see what works best. So I've shown you loads of different ways of doing it there. So make sure that if you're not quite sure, you can come back and you can ask some questions, or you can use the little blue button on the Maybe platform as well. The user generated content is key. So that is where you've been tagged or someone's maybe sent you a testimonial or something like that. So no matter what the business is that you're in, and I've just seen that, we've got councils and things like that here. So it doesn't matter what area you're in, encourage people to tag you, encourage people to share your story. It brings trust, and it helps people connect with the people behind a business. And then for me, it's just set up your maybe account so you can get more. So maybe you can literally go in for free, and you can, and then basically when you go on, if you're part of a place that is sponsored, so it might be that a council or an area is sponsoring your account, so lots of businesses we have that with, when you go on, once you put in your location, it will come up and say that. So it means that you can get different upgrades and things like that depending on where you are. If you've got any questions on that, just click on the blue button and we'll help you.